Welcome to a series of podcasts discussing series of films.
I'm Matt.
I'm Dave.
In a world inundated with prequels, sequels, spin-offs, and reboots, we ask the question,
Do we need one more? I think we do.
I think we don't.
All right. So you might have noticed I'm wearing blue
I have.
because blue makes me go fast.
That makes sense. I am wearing green because I am of the forest people.
So you're like all lanky and like I hang from tree,
Exactly. Look,
and I am thick, so therefore I am aquatic. I
well, you
guess.
also have that those webbed arms. How that happened,
I
but
got them meaty forearms.
we've
man.
been gone. We literally took a week break. You came back and you're like, "What's up, guys?"
I
was like,
came
"Are we
back
not?"
like looking like Popeye.
Yeah, it was like everything was normal. I was like, "Are we not going to talk about Dave's webbed hands that he has?" And he said no, but
I
I'm
said
doing it
no.
anyway. Dave,
Yeah.
welcome back to Pandora.
Welcome back to Pandora.
We're back.
We're back. We learning the ways of the water,
I
as it were.
took notes
I did take notes.
to make sure I learned the way of the water.
Mhm.
I'm gonna be honest. I think that speech is awesome.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good.
It's pretty good. This is so. Yeah, welcome back.
Yep.
We are continuing our journey through Pandora.
Yep.
Uh,
Tackling the Avatar series in preparation for Fire and Ash.
That's right.
It's going to be next week's episode.
Next week.
So make sure to get your tickets, watch it, so you can keep up with the show.
And we've said it, I think, with other stuff. I think maybe we did it for Mission Impossible. I feel like this is a movie that we need to stress, not because we have a mass amount of influence, but just for the record of our
Yeah.
our values on the show. Go see it in IMAX if you can.
Yeah.
Go see it. I actually am kind of open to seeing it in 3D
I am as well.
because
'Cause I can enjoy things like 3D.
I'm not usually like a 3D guy at all.
I don't really care pretty much outside of this franchise. And I think it's only because this is like the only movie that seems to be made with the intention of 3D being like a thing.
Cameron apparently is, from what I have heard, the only guy who actually can kind of make it
Yeah.
work.
Well, yeah, because he's the only one who's not doing like, here's a yo-yo coming at the screen. Like he's not doing the classic cheeseball 3D stuff. He's just like, no, how do I make like a more enhanced viewing experience? How do I tell a better story doing this?
Apparently, for this movie in theaters, they did a 3D high frame rate.
Oh.
So it's at 48 frames a second, but it's not for the whole movie. It
Is it
comes in
just
during
the,
like action sequences, and they also have technology where certain things in the frame are moving at 48 frames a second, and other things are moving at 24.
Okay.
So other things, there's like apparently the
It's interesting.
the 3D high frame rate experience on this was crazy.
Yeah.
That like
I know the R&D is like a significant portion of the budget on these movies.
So I briefly before we started the episode, I very quickly brought up that I had watched some behind the scenes for this movie.
Yeah.
This is where I watched it. I don't know if there will be more than the 2 episodes that are out right now, but there are 2 episodes currently at the time of this recording.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's called Fire and Water, the making of Avatar. And it's about the making of 2. And to see the things that they created for this movie is legitimately like breathtaking.
Are you talking about the mocap capture stuff? Or?
That they built a 600,000 gallon tank for this movie.
That's crazy.
With like ship motors, like big like winged, like it looks like in Avengers and the helicarrier.
Yeah.
They put those in the tank to create a current within the pool. It also has a rising floor that's like a strainer, like imagine like a pasta strainer.
Yeah.
That is at the bottom of the tank that can be lifted up to the level, so that way they can build the structures they need for like the rough sets.
Yeah.
For the things that are underwater, like the reefs and all that stuff, and then sink it back down.
That's crazy.
They have because motion capture is infrared. Those are the cameras that you use for infrared.
So it's infrared for the water stuff, I think.
It's infrared for the above water.
Oh, no, it is. Yeah.
Infrared has and I'm just basically completely quoting the documentary. Infrared underwater has a short throw. It doesn't go very far. So they have infrared on top, ultraviolet on bottom. There's like a 1-inch gap. And they're connecting those cameras that are the cameras are being processed to give a preview as they're filming it. Mm-hmm. So all those cameras are being processed in real time. All of the people that are camera operators under the water are free divers because scuba tanks. Yeah. Obviously, you breathe and you have bubbles. Mm-hmm. That reads as sensors, like a mocap suit, like the Dodson mocap suit.
Oh, I see.
So there can't be any like exhaling.
That's crazy.
All of the actors were trained in free diving. And the ping pong balls above the water are actually not for motion. Yeah. What they're for is when you're underwater, as I'm sure hopefully some of us have gotten the chance to, when you're underwater and you look up, if you're in a pool, the surface of the water when you're underwater looks like a mirror, right? Yeah. It's reflective. Yeah. So when you shoot it with an ultraviolet camera under there, it's picking up the reflection.
That's wild.
And then so they were going to do what they did on, I think Cameron said on The Abyss or something, where they put black ping pong balls.
Yeah, to get rid of the extra light, basically.
But then it gives no light. So then there's no light under there. So what they did was they used white ones, which then allowed them to have a beautiful soft light come from the overhead lights. The Sea Clan, I'm forgetting the name of the clan right now, but the Sea Clan, because they are through evolution better swimmers, they are given little essentially not like a jetpack, but they're given an extra boost. The actors, they have a pack on their back, so when they jump into the water, they can hit the pack and give themselves a little boost, like how the Sea Clan do because they have stronger tails.
That's crazy.
And the people who are of the Forest Tribe don't get that.
They don't get the fun toys.
They have to actually strain. All of the water stuff, all the stuff they do in this is I cannot recommend this documentary more because it is absolutely unreal.
I have to give it a watch.
The creatures, I'm just gonna get all this out of the way.
Might as well front load it.
The skim wings. And the elu, the water creatures that they ride.
Yeah.
They are rigged as. Do you know those water jetpacks that guys use to jump into the water and
do the spin? Hose, and then it's a.
It's thing. It's that they're using to ride them, and the crazy thing about it is that they, Cameron wanted it to be he's this. The elu or the skim wing are living creatures, right? They don't completely. Especially in the beginning, they don't completely respond to the Na'vi that are riding them. Mm-hmm. So
the Sully clan.
To the Sully clan, who stick together. I don't know if you knew that.
They do.
They have operators operating that cannon or that water jetpack.
Okay, that's fun.
And then the actor is on top of that person. So they have to
deal
with the control of the other performer.
That's really funny. I feel like people got really close in this movie.
Oh, I'm sure they did. And apparently it was Cameron is much mellower now, so he was less. When they're underwater, he was any pressure you put. I'm sure there's some. It's personal, but also professional. Yeah. The way he's calmed down. That he in the documentary is when we were underwater, everything has to be low stress because of just the pressure. And all the performers. So they have clips of him on the God mic or whatever, and he's okay, and then you're going to turn it's like a sleep time video or whatever.
Yeah, a meditation video.
Yeah, where Morgan Freeman is putting you to bed or whatever. Yeah. It's that, but it's James Cameron being
Morgan Freeman's 2 generations of magicians.
Fuck yes. God, I was talking to Laura today about how bullshit that now you see me, now you don't thing is.
Yeah.
I say that hyperbolically, but I'm it's too late.
It's
you
way
can't
too
do
late.
now
you
you see
now.
me now you see me too and be don't worry, we've learned our lesson. The opportunity was last time.
Yeah, you've already lost our trust.
Yeah. Now you see me, don't, now you see 3. That's what it should have been.
Now you threw me. Like
I've said it off air. I'm saying it on mic. We can immortalize this. That's what it should have been.
Should have been 2 3s. It should have read like C like S33.
Laura pitched it as an extension of the sentence that she just added new shit. She was like, it should have been now you see me, now you don't, and then just you're blind. Like she was like, you should just add. It should just be an additional sentence.
Should just be like ... I don't know.
It's a third one.
Abracadabra, bitch.
Yeah. Now you see me, the rise of Skywalker.
Yes.
But yeah, all the technical stuff of this movie is like
pretty insane.
It is not, and we talked about this a little bit last week. I think that it's like in kind of the era we live in now with like so much CGI that like when you go back to Avatar, that maybe there is a little bit of like you don't have the same reaction, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when Way of Water came out, I feel like the conversation around the technical marvel that is this movie was a lot more subdued.
Yeah.
And I think that is unfair to the movie because
it really is, because they put a lot of work into this. I know Cameron, and you said he like mellowed out a lot for this one, but I know there was a conversation early on where they were like, he's like, no, I want the actors to be able to like do it underwater, so we have to build a new system to be able to capture above and below. And someone was like, well, we'll put something together with the wires and we'll do the dry for wet, and he'll see that it'll be easier. And then they rolled up on the day, and Cameron was like, okay, so I don't think you guys understood what I said.
So they
I want water.
They show the tests of the dry for wet in the documentary.
I think I've seen it.
And
I think they did dry for wet in the first movie. Just quite literally the technology just wasn't there, but he was like adamant that he didn't want to do that again.
They did another test of it for this sequel.
Yeah, I think they probably were like, I think we can get it more realistic so that it'll still be like easier, but we don't have to completely reinvent the wheel. And Cameron was like, I'm asking you to go reinvent the wheel. That is literally your task.
The funny part of that documentary is like, they're showing all the tests, and you see they're like, we got all these wire rigs, we got the rigging that you do in like NFL with like the camera that like when it swings over the field, all this other stuff. And
is it just a fly cam? Is that what that one's called?
I think so. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But they show all these tests, and he's like, we had all the performers like doing all the swim, we had like these like movement people do all this, and we showed it to Cameron, and he said, that looks like people who are flying pretending they're swimming. And the guy was like, yeah, it kind of does. And I will say, I think Cameron is right.
I think he's right. I think the swimming in this movie looks so good.
Well, because, and they talk about it here, and you can see it in this movie, that it's like the difference between a like dry for wet rigging and actually being in water is that your body obviously is weightless, quote unquote, when you're underwater. But there is
still like resistance.
But there's resistance. He specifically talks about when you get in the water, there is a delay between when you enter the water and when you start swimming, because your body has to push a little. Your body stops, and then you have to like push yourself into the water. And that is just not, that translation doesn't work in a dry for wet scenario.
Probably not.
And yeah, I mean, it cannot be undersung, I think, how
it's pretty impressive
how impressive all this stuff is. Even when they're like all the like when their heads are above water, they're going into water, like all that stuff is like really, I think, where you can see how important that is.
Yeah.
When they're moving through the reef and they're like, pushing off the reef and all that stuff, I think is like where you can notice all that stuff. But before we get too ahead of ourselves, I suppose we should ask the question, Dave, what is your relationship with Avatar: The Way of Water?
So I saw it in theaters when it came out in 3D with my grandfather. We went down and he was like, I want to go see it. And I was like, all right, I'll go see it. I was like, is this an invite? I don't. But we went and saw it, and which I thought was funny because he didn't say anything like the entire movie, and then it ended, and he was like, "That was a long movie," and then we got up and we left.
He's right about that. He's down.
But and then he was like, "They're always going to do a sequel," and I was like, Yeah, no, that's the name of the game.
Yeah,
I think a little bit.
It's already been shot.
Yeah. So I thought that was kind of funny because that was prior to us doing the podcast and stuff.
Sure.
So it was like funny that was like that was all he said.
That's funny,
especially in retrospect. But yeah, so I only saw it the one time, and then I watched it today for this episode. So
what was your kind of relationship, I suppose, to the lead up of it, to the conversation around it as it was coming out, the trailers, all that stuff?
Yeah, so like I mean, we talked last week a lot how it's both movies have made $2 billion, give or take. Give or take a couple million.
A few $100 million,
yeah. So not mid-budget, correct?
We'll have to look. We'll
have to look. We'll have to do it. What's the standard now? No. So yeah, it's just crazy that this is like such a ginormous franchise, but its relationship to like pop culture and the public eye is very bizarre. But like, yeah, for me, I was like, yeah, I'll check that out if I have time. But it's like I'm never like, oh, I gotta go see it.
Yeah.
Although I will say for Fire and Ash, every time I see a trailer, I'm like, see, that looks really dope. I kind of want to go see it. Like, and this is like the first time I think I've actually been like, well, I guess I was pretty excited for the first one. But then like when 2 was coming out, I was just like, yeah, I'll get around to the whales. I don't know. And then I watched it and I was like, that's a pretty good time. That's a really good movie. And again, I'm just like, but then it like leaves and I just don't think about it year round at all until I see a clip and then I go like, what is this? You know? Yeah. So I don't know if that answers the question, but
no, fair. I mean,
it's like they're movies I like, but I don't crave.
Fair. I get that. My kind of personal relationship to it was like, yeah, like obviously I talked about the first one and being like, oh, holy shit. Like, you know, and this is a revelation, all this other stuff. And then time goes on. And then Avatar kind of gets talked about like in just kind of like a really cool looking movie. There was like a period where everyone was like, well, that movie's obviously great.
Yeah.
And we were all of the cultural understanding that Avatar was a good movie.
Yeah, there was like a technical marvel and
it was just like everyone was like, this movie's great.
Yeah.
And then there was like a period where I started to notice that people were like, that movie's bad, or that movie's not as good.
It's like the most overrated movie possible.
Which happens with every movie. It has happened time and time again. I mean, Black Panther is an example.
We love it the week it comes out, and then the following week we're like, well, you know, it's been.
Yeah, you know what? We just, it's like that thing where like we get a win, and then everyone has to be like, and I've done this too. I will indict myself in this. We'll kind of be like, yeah, but it's not all that it's cracked up to be. Things can just be good.
Things can be good. We don't have to like circle back and hate on it.
But yeah, there was a time where it was like Avatar was kind of like nothing. I don't want to say nothing, but like it was, people were more dismissive of it, I guess.
Yeah.
And then as the news started to come out about this movie, it was like, do we really need to do an Avatar sequel? Like, what's the point? People don't really remember that, like a lot of stuff about the first one. It's been so long. Like, you know, I honestly thought my feelings with it, I think, were kind of similar to at the time, how I was talking about Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah.
Top Gun Maverick, I remember being like, yeah, like Top Gun. Everyone knows Top Gun. It's iconic. Like you can, you know, all that. Like you can quote Top Gun or dress up as Top Gun. People know what that is.
Yeah, but fewer people know about Top Cat.
This is the thing, is that everyone forget. No,
you're aware of Hanna-Barbera's Top Cat?
Loosely.
I don't really know Top Cat that well. I just vaguely remember it on Boomerang.
I was gonna say we grew up with
He's
Boomerang.
a yellow cat. He kind of looks like Huckleberry Hound, that kind of thing.
There you go.
The Flintstones era.
Yeah, he'll get his movie at some point.
He'll get his day in court, probably.
He's in court. He'll be finally.
He'll be on trial for all the fish he stole.
But I kind of like with
it was
Maverick,
a Yogi Bear cartoon basically, but with a cat.
There we go. Genius.
Yeah.
Someone.
And then instead of stealing picnic baskets, it was pies.
Well, you know, what are you gonna do?
But it was before my time, and I didn't really watch it. He'd just come on, and I'd change it back to Batman.
Yeah, well, you know what? That makes sense.
If it was on.
Yeah, well, fair. But with Maverick, I was kind of like, yeah, we all know the iconography, and obviously this movie's been like, some people love it, some people think it's not that great or whatever. Yeah. So it's like, do we need a sequel? Who's really asking for this?
Mostly James Cameron.
Mostly James Cameron. But
he's like, I did the numbers, and I look at Lucas, and I get it. I get why that's all he does now.
And in the Maverick thing, like mostly Tom Cruise.
Yeah, like, basically. Who wants to do this? Bruckheimer mostly, but
yeah. And then Maverick came out, and I was like, oh, you found something here. Okay, got it. Great, cool. And you're doing a lot of really incredible, like, technical filmmaking with Maverick and with this. So I'm like, you know, I sit down, I kind of eat my words a little bit. Avatar, I was kind of like, oh, like, that looks amazing, obviously. But I was at the time where, like, a lot of the people that we were friends with were more of the, like, Avatar's not very good. And I wasn't, like, secretly, you know, clutching my Na'vi poster or whatever and, like, worshiping Avatar.
You were like, his name is Jake Sully.
Yeah. Outside of me just, like, still remembering that knowledge, I wasn't bought in necessarily.
Yeah.
But I was like, I would go see it. But the people that we were, and I'm not putting anybody on blast, they just were like,
kind of sounds like you are. No.
Yeah. No. They were like, not interested. Like, that movie's not very good. Like, I don't, you know what? I didn't really have anybody to go see it with, and I had not yet discovered the joy of going to the movies by yourself.
I've recently I've circled back on it. I used to do it a lot, and I kind of hated it, and then like now I'm like later I'm like, no, actually this is kind of fun. I kind of miss this.
I love going to see movies with people. I love the post outside the theater discussion, all that stuff. But also, like, yeah, going to the movies by yourself is sometimes it's the move.
Kind of a good time.
We should be more. Yeah. So I
like going early, so I can be the only one in the theater. Just have a private, like.
Fair.
I just sit there dressed like the Don Draper meme, where
I saw Trap.
Just post it up
by myself.
Nice.
It was me and one other guy. And he was like 5 rows in front of me.
That was me, and it was Captain America. Brave New World. Is that what it ended up being called? I forgot.
I also saw,
but I watched it with it was like some two older ladies just like behind someone's grandmas were like behind me be like, is this Will Smith? And I was like, oh God, you did not just say that.
The only movie that I have seen by
his
myself.
His name is Anthony Mackie.
And he's
cut the check.
Cut the check.
Yeah.
People forget that. But the only movie that I've actually been in a theater by myself and watched is, I cannot believe I'm about to say this, the Lego Ninjago movie is the only movie I've ever seen.
Would you like to tell that story?
No. No.
What happened?
No
Are you
context.
Okay?
No, I went to LA. I had an acting job, and just saying, I used to work. I don't really anymore. But I did.
Oh, someone's retired too.
I used to do a little bit of voiceover work. I had a job in LA, and I took the train because I didn't have a car at the time. And
was it a midnight train or going nowhere?
I wish I could agree with. I could say that was the case.
Yeah.
It was like the job was at like 2:00 in the afternoon, and the only train into LA from where we are, the closest I got was that it came in at like 10 a.m. There was no other train, and I was like, I'm not gonna spend $100 or whatever to Uber. Like, that's ridiculous. I don't have a car, but I have to get to work.
Yeah.
So I took the train, and then I Ubered from LA Union. I Ubered to the Universal City Walk. So I was like, there's restaurants. I'll catch a movie.
Yeah.
The only showing of any movie that worked with my schedule was the Lego Ninjago movie.
Is hilarious.
And I was like, well, I have like 4 hours or whatever. I'm completely by myself.
Yeah.
So fucking, I guess I'm going to see this. And I sat in the theater by myself.
Wow.
I walked in, it was like 11:30. And I watched the Lego Ninjago movie completely by myself at the Universal City Walk.
That's really funny.
And that's the only time I've ever been completely alone in a theater watching a movie by myself.
I think the only time I've ever been completely alone was for a showing of Hail Caesar.
Nice.
Way back in the day, and I was fairly grumpy with that movie, but I need to go back and rewatch it. I don't think I was old enough to appreciate it. We were cultured enough.
We were texting about it. I watched it for the first time, and it's one of those where it's like, it's not my favorite Coens, but it's like the worst meal at a 5-star restaurant
No,
is the
like,
best meal at any other restaurant.
Pretty good, yeah. No, I was like, this movie's really well done, but I just don't think I get it, and I just honestly just don't think I was old enough to really understand like what they're doing,
sure,
and how they operate, and their relationship to Hollywood themselves. Like I feel like I don't have like the full meaning and stuff, and so like I've just been like, even like when it ended, I was like, I really should go rewatch that again because I feel like that wasn't what I was thinking it was going to be.
It's a lot of
fun.
Like
that's where I bumped up against it.
Alden Ehrenreich is fucking phenomenal.
He's great. Movie. That was my favorite scene. That was the only scene I walked out of loving was him and Ray Fiennes.
His whole performance
tripping
is
on the tongue.
So good.
He's really good in that. I was really excited when he got the Han Solo gig.
Yeah.
And then the movie came out. Which isn't really his fault, but
no, it's not.
He's doing all right. He got to do weapons.
And
he's great in that.
He's great in weapons.
He's so good in weapons.
But yeah, so I did not see Avatar in theaters.
Okay.
I did not see this one in theaters because I had yet to uncover the joy of watching the Lego Ninjago movie at 11:30 in the afternoon.
You hadn't unlocked that ability.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's like the Arkham Knight game where you like get like a new grapple hook and you're like
precisely.
So watching movies alone.
so I didn't see it, and I ended up just kind of missing it. And then I watched. I'm so sorry, James Cameron, if you ever stumble across this episode. I'm just apologizing now.
Smite him, blacklist him. No,
he's gonna come and kill me.
He's gonna appear. One of those big like helicopter things is gonna come in.
He will shoot me with one of Neytiri's 7-foot-long arrows. But I put the movie on. I was watching it, and I was loving a lot of it. And then I had to stop it because some stuff had come up that I had to attend to.
And you finished it on an airplane or maybe an iPod Nano?
And I never finished it.
Wow.
I was like...
Fake fan.
I know. My thing was I was like, okay, I want to watch it as a full experience.
Yeah.
I had to stop it. I didn't have a choice. And so I was like, when I'm going to go back to watch it and I'm going to start it over. I liked the part, I watched like the first hour. I was like, I liked the hour that I saw. I'll go back. I'll watch that first hour. It's a 3-hour movie. Like it's like, I'm still watching a long movie if I jump in the hour. So I might as well commit to the whole thing. And then I just didn't get the opportunity to. I just unfortunately just like things happen, and then it's hard to sit down and watch a 3-hour movie.
I used to be such a purist about this, of like I have to watch it from start to finish in one sitting.
Yeah.
And now I have found as I've become an adult that is completely impractical in most cases.
It's difficult at times
because of my work schedule and just other things going on. And so now I watch a movie and then I go back right where and pick up where I left off.
Fair.
Just in the name of actually finishing things. I literally had like a list of movies that I was like starting and not finishing.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'm not actually watching movies anymore. Like,
no,
I'm just like stopping and freezing up. So
I totally feel that.
Like, my film education is getting weak.
No, I
need to play catch up.
So like I wanted to finish it, never got the opportunity to. So I was very excited that we all were down to do Avatar because I was like, fuck yeah, I can watch The Way of Water, and
you can finally learn what the water's way is.
I had not gotten to the speech. I didn't know the way. I was a swimmer for 5 years, and I didn't know the way of water.
You're saying you didn't know the way of water?
No.
Yeah.
No, I swam, but I didn't know the way.
You got what? You got wet.
I certainly you
got wet and maybe a little suntan, but
I did. I used to be so tan. And then I joined high school theater, and a doctor literally was like, by the way, you have a deficiency in like vitamin D now. It's like you need to get sunlight.
I was like, while I was watching this movie, I literally like paused it and then like stepped outside to just soak in the sun because I could see it like coming in, and I was like, I should go try and catch that before I go into work today.
Fair.
But I stood in the sun for like 5 minutes, and then I heard the mail guy coming, and I ducked inside.
You're like Superman, just like
I was like, da-da.
Yeah, there you go.
I was like, back to the fray, and then I finished.
Hell yeah.
Way of the Water.
God, so good. Yeah. Superman, the 2025 one.
Yes.
We talked about it. All the thoughts are there. I don't have to say it's good. Everyone knows.
Go watch the video, guys. It was a good one.
But yeah, so I never watched the end of it, and I'm very happy to be doing this because I had a great time with this movie.
This is a good time. It's a good time.
I really clicked with, maybe because I was a swimmer for a long time as a kid. I love to swim. Like I do love the water.
Yeah.
And so I not to be like I like water, I like Avatar, but like I
water nice,
when
Avatar good.
The moments of like serenity under the water, I was like,
you can really lock into that.
There would be times where I was growing up as a kid or whatever, and swimming genuinely was like a release to me. It was very very therapeutic for me, which maybe sounds silly, I don't know, but like I connected a lot with that.
Yeah,
and I think this movie even more so than the last. Well, one, I think this movie's doing more.
Yeah,
we talked about last week that Avatar, is a plot that you are familiar with, that first one.
Yep.
And I think this second one is like trying out a lot of interesting stuff.
It's doing interesting stuff. It's more of a vacation movie.
Which is cool, man.
Yeah, like it's like funny because in my head I'm like, it kind of feels like they're like the Sullys go on vacation to Hawaii, like, but it's like that, like they are being like the refugees, like,
yeah, but
which is interesting. But
I think a lot of the two big standouts for me, not that I like hate, think the other characters are bad, but the two standouts for me in this movie are Quaritch, and Kiri.
Yes, that was my notes.
I love
that because I remember when they said Sigourney Weaver was coming back, and I was like, how? Like, in what way? Like, is she just gonna kind of be like a ghost or like what? And then like she just showed up and she was like a child. I was like, whoa, what?
I do remember that,
which I thought was fun.
Seeing that article for the first time that was like Sigourney Weaver plays a 14-year-old child in Avatar, and I was like, she what? I was like completely.
James Cameron's like, I have a task and a test for you, a challenge, if you will.
But I think it's cool, man. I think
it is. He's leaning into like what's kind of fun about this kind of technology of like what you can do storytelling wise.
I also think the sci-fi of this movie is very fun. Like, I mean, also something that I think we should note that I found out in the week of us recording the last episode and this episode about unobtainium doesn't really have anything to do with this movie.
No, because they have another unobtainium 2.0.
They've found
what did they call it? I forgot to write it down.
It's like, it sounds like nectar or something, or amber.
Yeah,
it is the fluid from the Tulkun, the space whales.
Yeah,
and it stops human aging.
Yeah, when they dropped that line, I was like, oh, that's right.
Cool as shit.
Yeah.
I love a movie that's like, by the way, we're sci-fi. We found whale fluid that stops
magic
aging.
Whale fluid.
Yeah, it's the secret to immortal life or whatever. But oh fuck, what was I about to say?
Well, we were talking about the plot, I guess, of this one, and that's more of a vacation watch. Or we were talking about unobtainium first.
Oh, yes. So,
but
unobtainium, you mentioned, is also what is named in the movie The Core.
Yeah.
Right? It is actually...
It's not a good movie, but it's a good watch. Like, it's fun. It's a dumb movie, but...
I rescind any joking or poking at The Core and Avatar for unobtainium, because I found out that is a actual scientific term.
Yes.
That is the term for something that is unknown.
Yeah.
That you literally are like, that is unobtainium, apparently.
Yeah.
I just nodding no. It's like
he's like right.
That is I like checked, so I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah, which is like that's the joke of that, but
so them being like, there's this metal we don't know, it's called unobtainianium. I'm like,
okay, we're actually just now we're gonna use it. This is the mythical
that actually
thing.
Legitimately checks out.
Kind of works, yeah.
But yeah, this movie I think is playing with a lot more.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that it hits a lot of similar moments that the first one does.
Yeah.
It has
fewer trees in this one, more whales.
Well, okay. Last week I said that
not enough whales.
Well, last week I said that I liked. Did I say that I think 2 is better than 1?
Yes.
Because I do stand by that. But I said
I think 2 is better than 1 too.
I said the reason that I like it more, and there's more reasons than this, but the reason that I like it more was that it was both trivial and important, and then you threw in, is it wet? And I said, well, I guess there's 3 things. It's trivial, important, and wet.
Yeah, this movie's not damp enough for my taste. And then this movie came out, and I was like, that's what I'm talking about.
The reason, one of the reasons that I like this movie more than the first one, that is trivial and important and wet, Pyakon.
Pyakon's a great character.
is great. Paikon the Tolkien, a space whale that is
a rogue space whale.
He is a big guy.
He is a big guy.
And he's under the water.
Yes.
He's misunderstood. And he's just he just wants to be your friend.
I think he's wearing a metaphorical coat energy. Like, I feel like the coat is metaphorical in this one. I think he is a worthy addition to the big guy in the coat club.
He is. He also fucking...
We haven't talked about in a minute. It's been a while since we've had like a proper addition, I think.
I would absolutely... I really appreciate you backing me up on this. Paikon wrecks some fucking guys.
Do be throwing his weight around in a fun way.
And boy, did I love watching every second.
I really enjoyed it too. Yeah, especially because you have that like a 10 or 15 minute sequence of them hunting like a whale, and it's like I was just like, God, this is like really upsetting to like have to watch.
Really emotional,
but it also is what makes Paikon like throwing down at the end so. Like yeah, because you see what they're going through and stuff.
Paikon is one of my favorite characters in fiction.
It goes Jean Valjean, and then
it's Darth Vader, Paikon, and Frodo Baggins, or Samwise.
Samwise is the better character. That one. That's a conversation for another episode. But,
True.
But yeah, the plot on this one, it's. There's both more plot and also like not
the
as
same
much
amount.
plot. It's like it's almost the same amount of plot, but it's a more interesting plot because it's slightly less derivative. But you know, the Sullys are on the run because the Sky People have returned, and so they're trying to keep the family safe.
Well, I also think
the father protects.
I also want to shout out because
this one goes full Fast and Furious on this one.
Fuck yes.
They're like to honor Michelle Rodriguez, who's no longer in this movie.
Rest in peace.
R.I.P. Not the actor, just the character. Michelle Rodriguez is still kicking ass, guys. Don't panic. That's not what that was.
She is still kicking ass. Hell yeah.
Just not in the Avatar movies.
For now.
Hopefully. I'll take. I'm so down for that.
I'm very.
We'll talk more at the end.
But I think with Jake Sully as a character, I like that this movie is actually him. Like, it's about him retreating, like him wanting to play things safe because he has a family. Yeah, like
which is kind of an interesting character choice.
I am threatened again. Like I have things are different now. I feel like a Jake Sully, Majake, who doesn't who doesn't have that family.
You're Mamat, and
and Madave, and Madish,
and Madish.
But you know, a Jake Sully who doesn't have the family when Quaritch comes back is probably a Jake Sully who takes the fight to them, and that he has more at stake. It's about him. You know, our families are. You know, we have to. He doesn't want to put the forest people in the same place again. He wants to evade, and it's about him, fighting back and remembering to fight back and knowing what to fight back for. Yeah. And that sometimes in order to protect the thing you love, you have to fight for it. I think all of that is really cool and exciting. And I was going to say, I know we didn't diss him in the last episode, but we just weren't like, he wasn't a standout for us in our last conversation. I think Sam Worthington is good in this movie.
I think he's good.
I think he is. I don't know if it's a better utilized thing. I've never thought he's a bad actor.
No, but he just feels like he doesn't have a lot of like moves in his or his kit. You know what I mean?
I also think the movie kind of swallows him up in Avatar a little bit. Yeah,
well, it's almost like he's kind of blank on purpose so that we can kind of we can personify, or not personify, but we can project ourselves into him a little bit more.
But I would say that I like him in this movie.
Yeah, I do.
I think all that stuff is good.
Most of his stuff is at the beginning and end of this movie, and then the whole middle is like more about the kids, I think. But
which I enjoy. I like getting. I mean, it seems like the kids are, they're the next generation. He's really working stuff out and like building stuff with them, which I think is kind of fun.
Yeah, and seemingly important. I feel like Saldana though is kind of fading a little bit.
She does not get a lot to do in this movie.
And it's kind of a bummer because I feel like her character has the most stuff happening to her.
Yeah,
but she doesn't have the most like she's like making less choices. I think because
she just
everything's kind of happening to her,
hanging out.
But it is like interesting that as a character, she's like the one that like of this franchise is like also losing the most. I feel like just like over time in this war that is happening.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting that she's like kind of taking a little bit more of a backseat. So I'm hoping in Fire and Ash they kind of move her more front and center, because I think it's kind of a waste of her. Because she's great.
She's great, and she's still
and
good.
She's doing great work.
She's still great in this movie.
Um,
she just hasn't less to do. I mean, it was also
it's like they kind of forget about her until stuff starts happening, and then they're like, oh yeah, you have to come in and like.
She pops in every so often, but I'm very into everyone's performances. Kate Winslet is in this movie. I think she's good in this movie.
Yeah, she's serviceable. I feel like I question her casting a little bit.
I just think she, again, doesn't really have a lot to do. Kate Winslet is Ronal. She's the
pregnant water Navi warrior queen.
That's her.
Yeah. And she broke Tom Cruise's underwater record from Rogue Nation that we covered earlier in this year. Go check out that episode.
And that it's the like on film record, like by an actor, for holding your breath underwater.
Yeah. So this isn't hold your breath in general, but for film.
I heard this and found this out. So she held her breath underwater for 6 minutes and 15 seconds.
Yeah. What was Tom's record? Was it like 4.5?
I think it was 4 or 5 or something.
Yeah.
The world record is 24 minutes.
That's wild. Stephen Lang has a funny bit on that. They're like, oh, did you like learn to hold your breath like really good for this? And they said it more professional than that. And he was just like, he's like, oh yeah, well, I mean, if I'm just like sedentary and not moving, I can hold my breath for a minute. But Sam Worthington pulls a knife on you underwater and then you got to fight him. He's like, not very long at all.
Well, that was what Cameron was talking. I think they talk about in the documentary, where like he's like, when the body starts to move is obviously when
you start to utilize more oxygen.
So like when Kate Winslet breaks that
detail in Rogue Nation,
it's true. When Kate Winslet is holding her breath underwater, she's not moving; she's just staying there. But he's like, you build them for that long, so that way you can have them. It's like 2 to 3 minutes for each take or whatever.
Yeah.
But I Kate Winslet, I think, just doesn't get a ton to do. I think the moment, like when she finds the Tulkun that she has the spirit connection with that's been killed. Like,
did you say her spirit sister?
Spirit sister, yeah.
I almost said soul sister, but that's definitely wrong.
But like that moment, I think is played pretty well. I think her moments are like good.
Yeah, they're good. I can hear that she's not like. Obviously, this branch of the Na'vi are very like Hawaiian and Polynesian based kind of
very
stuff.
Much so.
And I can hear her English heritage, I think, in the voice a little bit. Whereas like Cliff Curtis feels very well casted as his character. I forgot his character name.
I can look it up. I have it.
Cliff Curtis is a rad character actor.
Cliff Curtis, great. I mean, great cast. Stephen Lang again, like.
Stephen Lang, really good.
Quaritch
is a very, very interesting character in this movie, especially the way it like foils Jake Sully and the fatherhood stuff.
Cliff Curtis plays Tonawari,
and then Kate Winslet. You said her name?
Ronal.
Okay.
But Quaritch is.
And who's Jake Sully?
He is Taruk Makto. My Jake. He's my Jake.
My Jake.
I
love that.
Quaritch as a character, the idea of like a guy who comes back in the body of the thing that he
when he goes back to like his like death spot and he finds his what's left of him and he holds up the skull Hamlet style.
Yes.
Pretty metal scene.
Very metal.
And very, very interesting to watch him just be like crushes it like.
Well, it's
back from the dead.
He brings it up a few times that he's like, he is aware of his like I am and I am not Quaritch.
Yeah.
Like when he's talking to Spider, who's his kid.
Yeah. But he's almost like fighting it. Like he wants to have the separation so that he can be like, I am not Na'vi, I am not that, I'm a new thing.
Well, when he crushes the skull of himself, it feels like that moment of him being like, this is a weaker man.
Yeah.
That he
clearly because
he looks down on how
and he has it in like
died.
the video message where he's like so if you ever see this, obviously I died, but that ain't gonna happen, and it's like it did though.
Yeah.
2 arrows later.
For real.
Dum, dum.
It's also great in that final act when he sees Neytiri and he
in
has
this movie or
in this movie.
Oh, in this movie, yeah.
When he sees Neytiri, because he has that look of like he like looks at like
when the arrow shows up and he sees the feather, he's like, oh shit.
Yeah, he's literally like, oh fuck, she's here.
Yeah, like, he was talking real tall at the beginning of this movie. He's like, I'm back from the dead, bitches. Like, I will hunt you to the ends of time. And then those arrows shows up and he starts sweating a little bit.
Yeah, he's like, oh wait a second.
He's like, oh, she's really good at killing things.
Well, it's
and she wrecks those dudes at the end.
God, I love watching the Na'vi just beat the
dish
shit
lit
out
up on that.
Those end combat scenes, I had to go back and watch them again.
They're
How
pretty sick.
good
Yeah.
are those fights?
Spear into the like. My brain.
The choreo is
didn't
awesome.
Understand. I was like, I have to go back and see what the heck is happening.
Yeah.
All of, I mean, when Sully is like, if you let me go, I'll find you, I'll cut you down, all that things. When fucking Worthington hits that, well, let's get it done, and runs at him, I was like,
I wrote that down. You're like, go fucking get him. You protect your family, dude. It really is like the Don Toretto of it all, where he's just like, the thing about the street is the street always wins. Boom.
Cheered. I like uproarious applause.
Yeah,
for
no,
me
it's pretty good. Like, cause he is just like the whole movie. He's like, I want to keep my family safe. I want to keep them safe. I need to remove them from danger. And then this happens, and he's like, bring it.
Yeah. But with
and it is this like, oh, sorry, go ahead. I'm gonna interrupt.
Oh no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, there's something very like Les Miserables about Quaritch and Jake Sully.
Sure.
This sort of Javert, Jean Valjean kind of thing that they have going of like, it's like, this is a decades long feud that will continue unless someone, until someone wins.
Yeah.
or they will both perish, like sort of at the edge of a volcano potentially.
Hell yes.
I suspect we're heading towards like a Revenge of the Sith kind of ending.
Say less,
with them. I think we can all agree duels on the side of a volcano is pretty badass.
Subjectively, how I would want to go out.
Yeah, I will.
You're just in a duel
to fight one who was my brother.
Yeah, exactly.
At the edge.
But no, I think,
is that how this show ends? Is it you and me at the edge of a volcano?
I hope not.
Season 3. We're in Iceland.
We need one more fire and ash.
Da-da-da.
But with Quaritch, what I like,
we need more Ash.
I love that.
Which is actually just our hashtag to get Ash versus the Evil Dead one more season.
Please. I've said this to you before. No show has ever ended on more of a cliffhanger, I think, than Ash versus Evil Dead. It hits.
I haven't seen it, but you described it as a Woody's Roundup ending.
It is a Woody's Roundup ending. It is like genuinely, think of a like cliffhanger cliche.
Yeah.
That happens in like a show or a movie.
Yeah.
And the ending to season 3 does, I'm not kidding, all of them. It's
that
like
is wild.
7 different like cliffhanger cliches packed into one cliffhanger.
That's fun.
So the fact that this show stopped, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? But with Quaritch, the levels of him, of the like looking down on the person on his past self, on seeing, all that stuff, his fear of Neytiri, his conflict with being in the body that he's in, while also pretty clearly enjoying the power that it has given him.
Yeah, and then also bonding with his son.
All the stuff with his kid, like realizing that like he does care for his kid. That
moment where like Neytiri's like got spider like and then he's like, don't do it. It was like, I was like, whoa, Quaritch actually has. He cares about something that isn't conquest.
Yeah, and the last bit that I enjoyed as well is the level of him knowing that Neytiri also defeats him, but that Sully defeats him as well. That these two people defeat him. That he wants to almost be a Na'vi better than they.
Yeah, at this point, it's like now he's like, I've got to out Na'vi them. Like when he has to go get his own dragon. I think they're Ikran. Yeah.
Yeah. The Banshees is the
the Banshees. And he's like, oh, Jake Sully did this himself the hard way, and they're like, yeah, all the kids do, and he's like, well, I gotta.
He has to prove it. He has to prove it to himself.
Yeah.
That he is strong. He is stronger than Sully in every way.
Yeah.
And that is fucking wonderful.
It's
such a rich character.
It's a compelling motivation to witness, you know.
Yeah.
Which like it's like that weird thing of like Quaritch is the villain of this franchise, but he's somehow the most interesting character.
Well, it's I mean like Darth Vader is similar in a lot of ways. Like Kylo Ren is similar in a lot of ways, where he's
kind of stealing the show on it all.
And that I think comes with villains sometimes, is that there are layers to the darkness.
Because it's like heroes tend to have like the Boy Scout thing going. Not to trigger you, I don't want.
Yeah, it's okay.
I know you're an Eagle Scout.
I am an Eagle Scout. Heroes tend to have to walk the straight and narrow path. They have to.
So they have to honor a code. So they end up being really familiar and very
now. I think
derivative, I guess,
where something like Superman, like we just previously mentioned, makes it work in that it's the striving to do good in the face of conflict is a challenge.
Yeah,
and I do think there is part of that. I don't think it's not as good as it is in Superman in here, but I do think it is that thing where people are like Jake, like they will come for us, you know what I mean?
Which I thought was wild that he really wasn't planning any sort of retaliation. He just was like, we just got to go into hiding. This isn't going to stop.
Yeah.
And I'm like, really? Like, you're not going to plan any sort of regrouping, or you're not going to build another army? You're not going to just try to take him on again? Like,
well, I think it's that he obviously has the family now, and also, you know, what happened with Home Tree in the last one, that like he like burned down this culture, like you know what I mean? That he would want to avoid that conflict. And then, you know, there's the whole thing when they start killing the Tolkien and all that stuff, that he recognizes that it's a trap and all, you know, all that stuff. I don't think it does it as well as Superman, but I do think it's there. Yeah. How do you feel about the kids of the
kids?
Yes. Netaim, Loak, Kiri, Spider, and Took.
Yes, so Kiri is the one that I think I respond to the most.
Cool.
But I like what they're doing with what is it? Is it Toak or
Loak?
Loak.
The son
Loak,
is Loak. The second son.
Yeah, the second son is Loak. It's interesting because like for most of the movie, I kind of didn't really care about them, but like by the end of it, like when they're all like getting like abducted and stuff, and like I really was like, this, like I'm stressing for them. Like, and I mean I know how the movie ends, but it was like it's funny that like they kind of win me over ultimately. I feel like the older brother, unfortunately, is a little bit
bland.
He's a little bland, but his destiny and function within the movie is
it is that thing. He is the noble
spoiler
one,
alert, die
because he's supposed to die. Which
is an interesting like character motivation for Loak, because he's the sort of black sheep of the family, and the not as good son, and is living in his shadow, and now he is sort of responsible for getting his brother killed, and how that affects his relationship with his father. I think is all really, really interesting stuff. And so like when all that stuff starts happening, like the idea of the kids really starts to click for me. But that does take like 2.5 hours to get to.
You're building that.
But at the same time, it's like I think that's like the point, you know?
Yeah.
So
I love Loak going back out to Payakan, that I think they're like, Payakan is a killer, like you don't want anything to do with that. Like that Tolkien is dangerous, all this other stuff. Yeah. And he's like, no, you're wrong. Like I think I wrote it in my notes that I'm like, I think he sees himself in Payakan, that he sees someone who is cast out and misunderstood and blamed and all this other stuff, that he's like, no, like I think there's more to him. He was kind to me, all this other stuff. That I'm like, I loved all of that. I thought was really, really fertile and strong. Like I was really into that. And I do agree. Yeah. Netaim is like, just like a good guy. Yeah. But it is kind of the serviceable, it is the thing of like, you know, Cameron's writing kind of broad characters just probably just a time-saving mechanism. Like it's like there's things that I'm trying to delve into and do, and so we kind of you have to kind of read them very quickly. Yeah, well, because he's doing, I mean, again, the world building in this I think is so strong. We were talking about this last night. We went and we saw Predator Badlands. Yes. A very cool movie that rips and fucks at the same time.
Yeah, that movie is pretty dope.
But I was talking to you about where Cameron's world building in Avatar, where I think it is stronger. I really loved Badlands. I'm not trying to knock Badlands, but you feel the hierarchy and ecosystem of Pandora.
Yeah.
Whereas there are movies sometimes where it's usually just like, we have a ensemble of dangerous creatures or interesting, but like and I'm not knocking Badlands. I really want to be. I really love that movie. I think the movie is
good,
really good.
Its ecosystem is more primordial chaos.
It's not a knock to that movie. It is highlighting how Cameron elevates his own work and his own world building. Is that you feel the hierarchy of these creatures and you feel the ecosystem of it and the interconnectivity of all of it, I think is really strong. And it hits me. I think it's even better in this movie than it is in the first Avatar.
I would agree with that.
And he had, 14 years to like prep it. So I'm sure, he had some runway. But yeah, like, sorry, I needed to go off on that tangent for a second, but like, yeah,
it's all about context.
With the kids, like Took is like cute and fun.
Yeah.
So it's like
just adorable and innocent.
Love her.
Yeah.
But it's funny when she's like, "Man, I'm getting handcuffed every fucking 5 minutes."
Like, "Oh, already?"
Yeah.
I was free for like 2 seconds and I wasted it.
Spider,
because I'm a baby,
is weird and crazy.
Spider's a very interesting character. I don't know how I feel about him, but I like the idea of Quaritch's son. I find his Tarzan aesthetic a little distracting.
Yes,
I understand it, but I think in today's stuff, I find it a little.
It's interesting to say the least.
It's a choice.
I like the science fiction idea of he's stuck on Pandora because babies can't get put in cryo.
Yeah,
very cool and fun.
Who do you think his mom is?
I was thinking.
I don't think it's important, but I'm like genuinely like. I think. I mean, obviously, like we are still like. There's this interesting thing of like him and Kiri have like a special connection because they're both like really like outside of their world. Like he's human, but like all the humans that he belonged to have abandoned him, and Kiri is so mixed, and her unknown origin keeps her a little bit separated from everyone also, and so it's like I'm just like. Who's the other parent? What's going on there?
No, for real. I don't know.
Is this a Luke Leia situation? Are you guys gonna kiss and it's gonna be weird? What's going on?
I have no idea. I can't even. Literally there were times where I was like, I wonder who Spider's mom is, and I'm like, I don't even know if Cameron. He probably does know who it is. But like, I don't know. I mean, I will say Kiri.
Conceivably, he has to be his conception would have had to happen after Quaritch came to Pandora, since you can't transport a baby in cryosleep and stuff. So and Kiri is, they don't ever state it, and it's probably smart. My understanding, my assumption of it is that she is a child of Awa. Probably that makes the most sense.
That like when they try to connect Grace to her avatar after she's been shot in the first one, that Awa connects to Grace's avatar, and that is like it's an Anakin Skywalker, there was no father kind of miraculous conception situation, where which is why she is so connected to all of the animals and all this other stuff. She says she can feel Awa's heartbeat. Yeah. All that stuff, which I loved that scene.
I think she might be the actual avatar, master of all 4 elements in this one.
Couldn't have happened to a cooler person. I'm going to be honest. Kiri's fun as shit.
No, she is. I like the character a lot. She's just definitely, I think, immediately the most interesting to me, I think.
There's a mystery around her.
Yeah.
All the kids like talking shit, being like, Norm Spellman's your dad.
I know. I was like, they were doing that. I'm like, so it's definitely not him.
It can't be Norm. Nice to see him back.
It's nice to see him back.
Both the doctors back.
Both the doctors back.
And Giovanni Ribisi for 2 seconds.
That's a fun cameo.
Him just being like, "What? Get the fuck out of here!"
Like here's how it works. You got to do this, and you do this, and he's like, "Are you explaining or am I?" I love that kind of exposition where it's like, clearly we need you to understand it, but the characters themselves are like acknowledging that what they're saying is like distracting.
No, I love all of that stuff. I also I love how I love how funny Loak is. I think Loak is very just like, he's just a cheeky little bastard.
Yeah.
When he like is like, oh, can I show you something? Oh, it's from our people. If I put my hand like this and then I can, he's like, "Gah!" And like punches him in the face.
It's called smacking a bitch.
And later when he's like, I'm so sorry I hit you, and he takes that second, he goes, so many times. I was like,
yeah, no, it's one of those things. Like I think when they first show up, I'm just like, kid characters. Like I just get like
it's hard to do, yeah,
because they're like that weird age where they're not cute, so they're mostly annoying, but. Like, and that's the
to quote the Shredder in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1990, teenagers.
Yeah, exactly. Great, amazing.
Just disdain.
Just disdain. Yeah. But no, like it's the longer the movie goes, the more I warm up to all the kids. But I was gonna go somewhere with that, and I lost it.
You're unsure of them in the beginning. They do kind of warm up.
Yeah, because it's like I'm like, what's going on? But then it's like clear, like obviously, like James Cameron's writing himself a little bit into these movies because he also has 5 kids.
Yep.
And clearly, and he likes to travel and do water things.
Seems like a dad who would be.
I'm almost surprised they didn't go to the Titanic in this one.
Well, Winslet's in it.
I know. Yeah.
They do. I mean, I will say the third act. Multiple bits in the third act are marvelous, but the flipping ship, is so good.
The flipping of the ship is pretty.
The
great.
flipping of the ship is.
It's
awesome. It's just good, man.
Yeah. Like, do you know who was offered a role in this movie and turned it down?
No.
Edward Norton.
As who?
One of the like Sky People guys. I think he was probably going to be one of the fishermen. Guys.
Like
he was probably going to be the
Jermaine Clements role.
He was either that one or the guy who's like, I have a quota. He was probably one of those two.
The guy who gets his arm ripped off in the coolest fucking way.
Empire Strikes Back style.
True.
But yeah, he turned it down because he was like, I would love to be in these movies, but I'd want to be bluer. If that's okay.
It's the Giamatti thing in Planet of the Apes, where he's like, if I'm in this movie, you got to make me the guy.
I need to be a monkey.
I'm fully. I get it.
Which I totally get. But which I think is funny. So maybe he'll show up in Fire and Ash as like a human guy with his own avatar.
I was gonna say Ed Norton as a Na'vi
sounds a little distracting, to be honest.
It's one of those things where I'm like, do your worst. Like, let's see
how bad could it be.
What is that gonna be like? But I mean, I love the sea people just in general.
Mm-hmm.
You're pulling up the hole. That is true.
He's been green. Can he be blue?
That's true.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, just showed us a photo of the Incredible Hulk.
The Incredible Hulk.
The not Ruffalo one.
Himself.
In case that was confusing.
Yeah.
But
the technically Ruffalo, but
technically Ruffalo, but probably not until we make a decision and
we bring back Liv Tyler for 2 seconds. Yeah. And we bring back Tim Roth for 2 seconds.
But why aren't they bringing back Ty Burrell?
I don't know. I could make the call if you want.
Do it.
Kev. But the sea people themselves, I think those kids are fun. I love that they have like sign language underwater. I love the physicalization. We talked about your webbed hands, which you refuse to acknowledge. Mm-hmm. But like them having the like stronger tails and like the wider, they're like their skin is like teal, like all that stuff is really cool.
They're a lighter blue.
It's like a fun way to I think the expansion of that is really exciting, and I think all like them like being like, look at their tails, they're so like
they're so bullshit. Small.
Think you can swim with that? Is very fun. Those kids are shitheads, but they are. This movie is, we kind of touched on it, like it is like a vibes movie for a big chunk of it, and I think we went to go see Badlands. Yeah, we were in the trailers. The trailer for Fire and Ash came on, and there was a guy who was sitting next to us who was with his buddy, and he turned to him and he was like, yeah, those movies look great, but the plots are like nothing. Like he kind of was like, it is what it is. And I was talking to Dave a little bit after, and like this is where like this movie specifically is one as kind of the more, I think an even stronger case than the first one, where I'm like, the experience of the world is like that is valuable.
That's the point. Like,
and the plot is there. Like, all the Quaritch and Curie and all this this stuff that Jake is going through. These are like there is room with these characters and expansion there. And I also think it's one of those things where like the idea that a movie is lesser because it's its experience is based in your what's the word that I'm looking for? Like just your experiencing the world. Like that is just as much like Cameron is a very like experiential guy. He likes it's why like a lot of his action work is like he deals Lucas is very similar in this where Lucas is
very
not
about like immersion and
it's less about the dialogue and less about
like
that
world
stuff
building,
and it's more about the actual filmmaking's a visual medium. It's about the visuals and about all that stuff. Yes, I know. Like that stuff I'm like, no, that isn't less valuable. You know what I mean? It's just a different kind of movie. Like I was sitting there as I was watching all the underwater sequences and I was like, I think these scenes are well shot.
Yep.
I think they're well paced.
Yeah.
Like
no, it's a really well constructed movie.
Like
I think it rushes a tiny bit at the very beginning, but
there is a lot of like
mostly just the Return of the Sky People just feels like we're glossing over it. I feel like that should have kind of been its own scene.
Apparently,
but it's just kind of a montage.
I think I've heard of like bits and bobs pieces that like that was one of the versions of the second movie that they were developing.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I do.
But I feel like they would have just treaded over basically the finale of the last movie, or like when the tree falls. It's like it would have just been a repeat.
I will say,
but it does like after not watching Avatar for 10 years, going into the sequel with like not watching it, I was like, wait, I'm sorry. Like, who did we introduce any of these characters? Like when they're like Spider, like when they introduced the character Spider, I was so confused because I was like, shit, did we see him as a baby like in the first movie? And I just can't remember.
Even like Kiri when they're like, this isn't a criticism, but it's just funny that it's like them like, and there's Kiri. Grace's avatar had a baby. We don't really know what that was about anyway.
Anywho.
The Return of the Sky People, that visual I thought was terrifying. The like wave of fire that just obliterates the forest.
Yeah, even like there was a new star in the sky. Like that moment, like it was like that would scare the crap out of you.
This movie continues the themes of like we talked about last week of like environmentalism and colonization and all this other stuff that like that Edie Falco's character that she's like like Earth is toast, we need to live here and mine it for its resources. That it's like have you ever considered that is bad and maybe you fucked yourself and should have fair.
No, didn't think about that at all.
Maybe don't just like burn a planet.
I take what I want
to a crisp and then find another planet and like eradicate their
like, we need the resources, sets everything on fire. Damn, not enough resources.
Wow, what are we gonna do? How does this keep happening? It's the Tim Robinson, like, we're all trying to find the guy who did this. It's like,
does the hot dog.
Fucking you, dude.
That's
like
really funny.
It continues those themes, but I never feel like it continues them, but it's not bland, I don't think. No. Like it is adding new stuff again, like Jake and his family and all this other stuff, and like all that I think is very good. I like the kids having to like kind of teach the parents.
That's very nice. Cool. All that stuff at the end, the last act of the movie is real. It's like I'm like, this is what movies are about.
The middle hour of them just like experiencing the Sea Clan and stuff is where I'm like, I could just like sit and chill and watch this and just like have a good time.
Yeah.
And then the last hour, that third, these movies are like 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour kind of
pretty
in
much,
their structure. And they're, I mean, if it was a 90-minute movie, it'd be 30 minutes, 30 minutes, 30 minutes. But like that final action hour is very like, all right.
Yeah,
Cameron's about to do
this is like the
one.
Star Wars of it all, where you're like, oh hell yeah, here we go. Here's like the actual
it's
like essentially really all the plot is in the last hour essentially.
Well, I mean it's like I would
because the rest of it's more vibes and hanging out and like
and spending time with the characters.
Yeah, because like we talked about it, like Jake's whole thing is like I just need to protect my family. We just literally need to go in hiding. So it's like they leave and then the next hour is just them existing. They're not planning a retaliation. They're just trying to keep a low profile. So they're just literally learning about the water tribe.
Learning and connecting with, because at the end of this movie, this idea that Jake is like, all right, like we'll see our way. Then he's like, no, you have bonded with us. You are just as much of these people as, you know, we see you, which is a great moment that he has with Mohawk, where he says, I see you.
That's that moment where he's like fishing with his son again, like in the afterlife. I was like, fuck.
I said this in my letterboxed review.
A scene I completely forgot about, and like immediately it was like watching Field of Dreams. I was just like, oh god.
I welled up,
and
man.
then he plays baseball with his dad.
I got so emotional, like in this movie a couple times. I'm gonna be honest. This movie really fucking works for me.
It really does, and it's like one of the things I really like. But I'm curious if they'll play with it a little bit. Is just the Jake Sully's relationship to the Sky People, how that just the fact that he is one of them and that his existence and being there has kind of brought a lot of pain.
Yeah.
Just inherently, even though they've like fallen in love and stuff and have built this life, like it's costing Neytiri like everything. She lost her father. She lost her home.
She's left her mother.
She's left her
CCH Pounder.
She's left CCH Pounder in the trees,
which no one wants to do.
No one wants to do. She's like,
she's a treasure.
Dude, she's so fun in the Naked Gun movie.
She's great.
I don't think we talked about. I think we kind of touched on it a little bit, but it's always fun to see her.
I forgot. I was like going through my Letterboxd stats, and I was like, 3 movies with CCH Pounder. I was like, oh, that's right. 2 Avatars and The Naked Gun.
2 Avatars and The Naked Gun.
But
the name of my biography.
Hell, wonderful.
But like it'll. I'm curious to see how it'll. It was nice to see that at the end that like they still had like a strong marriage even after something as like tragic as losing a child.
Yeah.
Because I think that could have very easily have been a source of like tension and drama for the 3rd movie of like this war is becoming too much. It's taking so much from us, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, we're Sully's, you know, we stick together. What's the other thing they say? There's
in the Sully's never quit.
Sully's never quit, yeah. And they don't.
They don't.
Sometimes they take a bullet to the chest, but they
they don't quit, but sometimes they die. That's really dark.
They are fragile.
hey, listen.
It's a dark joke. But like anyway, but it was like that moment at the end where they're like connecting to the tree and they're both sharing that memory together I thought was like a really like a powerful moment. I think because it would be very easy to like have that like tear them apart a little bit for 3 so that you could have that going on in the background.
Sure.
But it is funny that like Spider is like back with them at the end of this one and straight up Neytiri is like, I'll do it. I'll kill his ass right now.
I don't know about you.
Son for a son.
I think she's playing that. I think she pulls that knife up because she knows that he's going to stop. I
don't know if I agree with that. I feel like she is a grieving mother and she's going to do what she's got to do to save the rest of them.
But I also think as someone who lost her kid, knows the pain and knows that Quaritch. This is my interpretation, right? I'm not saying this is right or wrong, but my view of it was like she knows what that feels like, and Quaritch can pretend.
Yeah,
but there's no connection.
Yeah,
like it's like a child.
Yeah, it's like that's where I'm like I don't know if how much she's like consciously playing it.
That game.
I think she knows like what it is, but does she know Quaritch well enough to know that like can you play chicken with that guy? Like I feel like she's fully committed to being like I don't think she like wants to kill Spider because she doesn't have like a personal grievance, but I think she is so like angry at Quaritch that she will take him. But I feel like that will be interesting to see if they play with that in the next one of like Spider being like, hey, your mom like almost killed the fuck out of me.
We're gonna talk about that the scar across my chest is from
He's
mom.
Like, mom, my surrogate mother, who's been like cool with me hanging out like here all the time,
Spider
up until now.
Spider is a character that I am interested in seeing. I didn't dislike Spider, but I'm interested.
I just find
I think there's a lot of interesting dynamics with him.
The dynamic, it is a very interesting.
It's very Luke and Vader.
Very Luke and Vader, which is again very funny to like have that kid show up who's not technically one of the leads, end up having like so much to do. It's that weird thing of like he ends up kind of being more interesting than like Jake Sully's actual sons, which I think is maybe not great for the movie overall, but. the movie still works, obviously. So
I think the movie is.
I don't know if that's necessarily a criticism, but it's just like a thing I think about.
My thing is, I think the movie is offering points for each character to expand into more.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they've planned out, 3, 4, and 5 on top of this.
And they shot 3 back to back with this one too.
Yes. And they shot parts of 4.
Yeah.
Because there's some stuff with the kids that he was like, the kids will be younger at certain scenes. They have to be this age.
Yeah.
If
we get a 4 and 5. Dun, dun, dun.
I hope so. We'll see. But
will the technology catch up in time? Who knows?
Who will know? We shall see. If there's one thing I've learned, and as we all know, and they say it in the documentary, you never bet against Jim Cameron.
Don't bet against him.
I remember when that second one was coming out and being like, is it going to do as well as the first one? And it did.
Yeah.
It did really well. Yeah. It is the 3rd highest grossing movie of all time.
Do you think 3 is going to pull similar numbers, or do you think this one might drop a little?
Here's the thing where I'm like, I want to say,
because I'm like, I don't hear any buzz about this,
but I didn't really hear anything about the second one either.
Exactly, that's the thing. It's just like funny that it, like, for a franchise that is like has both its movies in the like top 5 highest grossing movies of all time or whatever. It's like crazy that like it's pulling those numbers, and at the same time there's like no word of mouth or hype about these movies.
This is my blossoming theory.
It doesn't make sense to me.
I think I think people have been generally, I think it is like you keep the fact that you like Avatar to yourself.
Are we all just a little bit like ashamed of it?
I think there's a bit of a standoff.
That we don't want, or is it just we don't want to say those movies are good because they're like you like blue people? Like is it one of those?
It is. I mean, there are certain, like, Laura is not very interested in this, but she's also not a very sci-fi interested person. But it is that thing where it's like, look, man, like, the second one made like $2.2 billion. The first one made $2.8 billion.
Yeah,
like,
no, it had a
people,
$2.3 billion.
People are
on a budget of $350.
God damn. People are
dollars, not million, just 300.
Yeah, $3.50, $3.50.
Yeah.
But it's like people are going, people are responding, they are reviewed well.
They are, yeah.
I think people just don't. It almost feels like we're maybe all kind of ashamed to say it.
I don't know. Something about it's just like they're blue and they're half naked. I don't know if I want to open myself up to criticism.
They're so earnest.
Yeah.
And they're so wild and weird.
Yeah.
But look, I'll come out and say it. I'm fucking into these movies.
These movies have grown on me a lot. Like I really like the second one.
I was not always this person.
Like when I watched it. Yes. Yeah. At one point you were tiny. You were a boy.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
And you were wearing a pair of shades, starting a club.
It's true. I was not really the cool guy in shades, unfortunately. It's more of a it's a McConaughey me in 10 years situation.
Yeah.
I'm just constantly chasing this person I'll never attain.
Yeah, you're like Babe Ruth. But
yeah, exactly.
Do the point.
But yeah, I it's that thing where I'm like, I want to say yes, it will, but I almost feel like in me saying it, that'll jinx it.
Yeah.
But I also don't think I can say no because I was proved wrong with the second one.
Yeah.
And it happened. Titanic was a similar thing. People bet against that. Like, you never bet against Jim Cameron. We'll see how the cards are dealt.
Yeah,
you know
I'm already like thinking like I know we're seeing this. We're gonna see it the week of, and it will be funny because like we won't really have the numbers on that one.
No,
for a while.
We'll have no idea,
and so we'll probably have to talk next season. We'll probably have to touch about it on some point.
Well, Avatar retrospective.
Yeah, we'll just maybe we just talk about it.
Or when that fourth one comes out.
Yeah. Are you doing Babe Ruth? They're gonna do 4.
I think it certainly could happen.
Yeah. I think this is probably a good time. Do you want to transition into the question of the week?
Let's move into the question where we ask.
He says like it's going to be a different one.
It's true. This time it's, what's your favorite Girl Scout cookie?
I'm a peanut butter patty guy.
Good choice.
Yeah.
Good choice.
Or whatever they call it now. I know the names change like every 2 years.
They do change. I like the ones with the coconut.
The Samoas?
Yes, they're called something else now. Caramel Delights.
Caramel Delights. I think they changed the name again, actually.
I have eaten an entire box of that once.
I have eaten a whole box of peanut butter patties.
They're very good.
I also like the Smiles a lot, I think. I think those ones, like the bigger one.
The lemonade ones?
Those ones are pretty good, too.
Those are pretty good.
Yeah. Is it Girl Scout season? Should I be looking for a box?
So.
When is that season?
It's whenever I'm walking out of the grocery store and I just there's a table and they're like, you're going to buy some fucking cookies, right?
Yeah, I know. All the Girl Scouts are setting up outside the dispensaries now. That's where all the money is.
Dude, the Boy Scout thing, I know we talked about that earlier. I I think I am like one of 8 people that buys the Boy Scout popcorn. Because I know the pain.
Yeah.
I was a Boy Scout from like 6 to 18.
You're like there like Chadwick Boseman at the end of Black Panther where the kid's playing basketball and he's like, "What's your name?"
I literally I was like walking into a grocery store and I saw the kid sitting with the popcorn and no one's going up to him. There's no, you know what I mean? And I see him and I'm like, "Hey, do you guys take like, they have like the Zelle and all that stuff." I'm like, "Oh, you guys take Zelle?" They're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Okay, great." I buy 2 boxes of popcorn. And I'm like, "Hey man, like I used to be a Boy Scout too. Like like best of luck." He does not give a shit. He was like, "Yeah, whatever." I go home and I get the popcorn and I gotta be honest, dude, I didn't touch it. Like I bought it because I wanted to help
you just
the
had
kid.
It and you felt bad. That's
because it's like I used to go door to door. Me and my brother would go door to door and try to sell that popcorn, and it was always like, no, never mind. Our neighbors in our neighborhood wouldn't buy it.
That's
so
funny.
I get it.
They're like,
I
no.
see you. I see you.
They're like, we only opened the door because we thought you were a Girl Scout.
It was literally like, it was so hard to sell any of that. So I try to buy it whenever I can.
Fair.
But
very fair.
To ask the other less important question of this show, do we need one more?
Do we need one more?
We, as people
obviously, it's coming.
We'll say it that's true. We do know the third one is coming, but to break down for people that are maybe new, we have a total of 3 points that each one of us is given, me, Dave, and Dish. We can give half points for each category, so it can get a total of 3 out of 3. If we all give it 3 out of 3 and it gets a 9, one of us can offer an additional bonus point.
Yes.
Gives us into our Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Currently Back to the Future and Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves are up there.
Which I think our Hall of Fame quite literally is not the most deserving of sequel, just quite literally we just really like this movie.
We just really love them.
Because we definitely nixed doing more Back to the Future movies and put it in the Hall of Fame anyway. So
yes.
We'll have to maybe
but
clarify
the general,
what that even means.
The general do we need one more comes from if the score out of a possible 10 gets a 5 or more, or a 5.5 or more technically. So if
you don't get that, you don't get the seal of approval, which means we frown upon your inevitable sequel.
Let's be just completely upfront. If our score for Avatar: The Way of Water doesn't reach a 5.5 or greater, we will do a fanboy scenario and steal Fire and Ash and stop it from releasing in theaters. We'll watch it because we're curious.
We'll watch it,
but
lots of
no one else gets to see it.
No one else.
But no. So of those 3 categories, first one is quality of film, general kind of Roger Ebert, thumbs up, thumbs down.
Yep.
Is it structured well? Characters, dialogue, all that stuff. Category number 2 is rewatchability. Yep. Do you want to revisit these characters, this world? Are the scenes exciting? Is the movie engaging?
Yep.
And fun? And then point number 3,
and our most important criteria, probably
narrative runway. Are there themes, plot threads, character threads, things like that that you want to see continued or expanded on in a sequel?
Yes.
Is there room, not out of we talk about money sometimes, like box office on this show, but that is not a factor. While film is a commercial
well, it's important
industry,
to be business of film. I think there are bigger questions to ask of the should.
That tends to be, can be the dictating force sometimes. And that is not necessarily, I think, a warranted thing in a lot of ways. So we kind of look at narrative runways, kind of our thesis of the show.
Yeah.
So those are our 3 categories. Dave, out of a possible 3 points in these categories, what do you give Avatar: The Way of Water?
For The Way of Water, I give it a 2.5 out of 3.
Are you doing the comic book guy from Simpsons?
I was kind of doing somewhere between what's his name? Is it Ben Stein from The Mask?
Oh, metaphorically speaking.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Bueller. But comic book guy from Simpsons also works.
I see.
I fucking love
see
the
Ben
Simpsons.
Stein.
It's a mint collection.
Yes.
Which is just kind of Mr. Smithers, bring me my robe.
Good. But
anyway, I give it a 2.5.
Nice.
1 for quality. I think this is a very awesome world that we've built, and while some characters I think are better than others, I think there is some good character work.
Nice.
I think the character work in this one is especially, I think, just better because this really does hinge on us like liking these people, because the stakes, quite literally, it's not like the fate of Pandora right now. It's just the Sullys.
Yeah.
Whereas like prior, it was like, this is for the whole tribe and the
Sure.
trees and everything. And that's also part of this, but like the fact that like the characters are the kids and the family and everything are very rich. And I want to know more about that. And then, so yeah, I gave it a point there. Point for narrative runway. I think there's a lot to keep exploring.
Yeah.
I think now that you've gone, oh, here's the water version of Navi, I go like, well, is there maybe a fire version? Quite literally what I was thinking. And
maybe
then
ash included.
maybe some ash, maybe some lotion on the kneecaps.
That's bad.
But
it do look like in that trailer there is fire and plenty of ash. Okay?
Yeah, they'd be like the way of lotion. You know what I'm saying? No, that doesn't sound right.
That's okay. That's okay.
I was trying to work in like ashy skin, but that's not where this is going. I don't
You
think.
got it. You got it.
I think we've already established the rule of shame. But yeah, I mean, I'm giving a half a point for rewatchability. I do find, even though I really like this movie, I did find my attention span slipping pretty badly on this one, the second go around. I don't think I had forgotten enough of it to really like lock in. So, I mean, it really was just the middle part. And I think the length on it kind of was where it was. And so it's like watching a lot of the whale stuff like on a smaller TV at home, especially because my TV is like dying. It's like in desperate need of replacement. The experience just isn't the grandness and the wow. And it's like, it's harder for me to like immersify myself, and I'm allowed to play on my phone. So I find myself like also checking that occasionally because someone's texting me or whatever, you know, and stuff. And I try not to when I watch a movie because I have really bad ADHD. But I felt my brain on fire a little bit with it, and not in like because it's a bad way, but just because I had seen it recently, and I was like, well, I know this is kind of just the like, oh, the whales, stuff. So it's like, you know, for the beginning I was like locked in, and then I was kind of like, and then like once the third act like rolls in, I'm like, all right, baby, we're like in.
Yeah.
But because of that, I feel like I'd feel dishonest giving it the full point for that. But regardless, 2.5. That's my score.
There you go.
How about yourself?
I gave this bad boy a 3 out of 3.
Nice.
So all 3 points into one category and 0 in the other 2. No. But I
like all 3 in rewatchability.
Yeah, exactly. 0 narrative runway. No, obviously this gets a point for narrative runway. This is very clearly setting up, you know, obviously Quaritch is still around and not going anywhere anytime soon. Jake is coming face to face with the fact that they need to fight for this world and what they need to protect and fight for his family. So all, you know, there's plenty of stuff that is there. You know, the humans are still looking to colonize Pandora.
Yeah.
There is like, to say not so subtly, an ocean of narrative runway, I think, when it comes to this. In terms of quality of film, I give this a full point. I think the characters are interesting. I think the movie is clever in a lot of ways. I think the use of dropping the subtitles I find really clever.
Yeah.
That Jake has fully found himself in the culture and in the people that like it has become, you know.
Yeah.
It is become his, you know, I just think all that's really smart. I think the movie is structured pretty solidly. It's very similar to Avatar, but I found that effective as well.
Yep.
Rewatchability, I give it the full point just because like I totally get what you're saying about the kind of like the potential drifting and all that stuff. I really locked in. It was one of those where I just felt like I was at ease. Like I could just, I honestly, and not to be too verbose, but I felt like I was like wading in the water. Like I was just kind of sitting and soaking this up and enjoying
You were
this.
Nirvana, baby. Like
very much so.
Yeah. This is my favorite shot when the babies are in the water and they're just like, they're doing Navi Nirvana.
Yeah, true. And
little
that,
baby's like something in
hell yeah. But
the eyeliner.
But yeah, and then the final hour I think is fucking wonderful.
It's great. I would rewatch the last hour right now. That part's
it's in the episode. But yeah, this gets a full 3 for me. I really, really love this movie and I really connected with it. There are things that maybe I don't think are like perfect, but I do think it is. I mean, it's fucking Jim Cameron, man. Like he knows how to
don't bet against Cameron,
and he knows how to make a sequel. He has done it 3 different times now. Aliens, Terminator 2, and this.
I was thinking about franchises he did, and I was like, what's the other thing he's done 1 and 2 of? And I was like, oh, that's right, he didn't do the Aliens.
Yeah. But yeah, so like
I'm caught up now. I'm good.
I am prepped and ready for Fire and Ash. I'm very excited.
Right on.
And very excited to see what happens with my boy Pyakon.
I want to know what happens with him. I saw in the trailer the big Banshee's back, the red one.
Yes, Taruk,
yeah.
Yeah.
Very excited for that.
Very
because he was nowhere to be found in this one.
And Spider gets a tendril.
Yeah, what's that about? I was like, what the hell?
He's connecting with an elu.
Yeah.
He's got little goggles.
I know, yeah. What's going on there? He's like not wearing his mask. What's happening?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. We'll see.
Maybe something in the volcano.
We'll talk about it next week.
Yeah. What's our final score?
Well, that's such a real and true and good question.
Drum roll.
So out of a possible 9 to 10 points, with the minimum of the We Need One More being a 5 or above, Avatar: The Way of Water out of 10 gets an 8.
Woo!
Which is a fucking
we approve.
Firm.
Bring on Fire and Ash. We're excited.
Yeah, I am very ready.
The official stance of the podcast.
That's right. But you guys honestly are frankly very lucky that I got that We Need One More score, because we would have stolen.
We would have stolen it.
I would have done it. I had, we could have made it happen.
I will say, I feel like James Cameron probably has actual like robots that protect. Like, I feel like we'd get there and we'd be like, all right, just like give me the thing, and we'd snip through the wires, and then we'd be like, a boot would come down and we'd look up and it would just be like naked Arnold, like dun 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 dun, and then we'd be like, oh no,
he has a real T-800.
Yeah, he has a real clone of Arnold that is full machine.
I buy that.
Yeah, it's a clone, but it's also a machine.
Is there?
I don't know how this bit works, frankly. if it doesn't.
It's all and none of those things. Is there anything you'd love to see in Fire and Ash leading into this?
The only thing I'm immediately like curious is like what Spider's relationship to Neytiri, like just after that, like the tension of like I'll do it, like which we kind of already talked about. But beyond that, like I'm excited for the Banshee. I am very hopeful that there's some kind of volcano duel. I feel like you can't show me that. And you can't give me this Javert level pursuit of Sully like from Quaritch without them dueling it on the side of that volcano. So if they don't do that, I will be disappointed.
Fair.
And I hope I don't ruin this movie for people if that's not what James Cameron's going for. I will also accept Neytiri and whoever the fire Na'vi lady is from the trailer. If they're doing the duel, I will take that.
Cool.
That'll satisfy. But someone should have a feud come to an end on the side of that, on the edge of lava, because I'm a big fan of that.
I'm very excited to explore the culture of the fire people, for lack of a better word, right now.
I'm curious how that all goes.
That is, again, the ever expanding world of this is something that I'm very curious to see where Cameron's imagination goes.
Yes.
And I'm excited to see Quaritch be just a petty motherfucker.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Do you think there's a chance he might like become like a hero in these movies, that he like just sticks around so much and like this is like my love for my son Spider rehabilitates me? Or do you think he's gonna just like
it's one of
I can't let go of this idea?
It's one of those things where I'm like,
bring about my downfall.
I'm like, I would love to see him, like become like the unlikely ally.
Yeah.
But I'd also love to see him just bite it, dude.
I kind of like the idea of him just like his hate overcomes him to the point of like
fucking sucks, dude.
Like that it just destroys him. I think that would be join me. Like we could join forces on this. You could be one of us, and he's just like, get your dirty blue hand away.
I am very.
I feel like that's what makes him kind of interesting, is that he's so full of like hate.
Like if he goes full Gollum and is like kicked into a volcano, I would love to see that.
Yeah, Jake Sully's like together and they like off the edge.
That'd be pretty good. And then Taruk comes in and Jake flies away.
Like dips.
But yeah, I'm
or he does like a Hercules. He becomes gold and becomes a super Navi.
Interesting. Jake Sully 1 million.
Yeah. I'm here for it. That'd be interesting.
But I can't wait, and I can't wait to see it.
They do the "You're the Chosen One" like in The Mummy 2, where they're like, "You have a tattoo that says you're one of us, baby." He's like, "No, I got that slapped on me back in the Bronx."
Good creative choices that I would be interested in seeing. But yeah, and I can't wait to see it in the theater. Everyone,
I want to go see.
Go get tickets.
The
These
largest
movies,
screen possible.
They are meant to be seen in a theater.
Yes. As much as I enjoy watching these on my iPod Nano,
hey, fair.
I prefer the IMAX.
But
yeah, excited for that. I want to see more of Kiri. I want to know more of what's going on there. I think you're probably dead right that she's a child of Awa, because they did the whole. They tried to like save Sigourney Weaver and it didn't quite work. I think that's probably seems to be the results of that, but it'd be interesting to see how that like affects her more.
True.
Because she got to have that whole scene with herself in the I'm underwater and then I'm having a seizure.
Yes.
Which scared the crap out of me because I forgot it was coming
as well.
Just a very visceral scene. I was like, fuck. No, she's drowning.
Fair. But yeah, we'll find out.
We will find out next week.
And I will give updates on my thoughts about Piacon.
Yes.
My best friend.
We'll give updated thoughts. Go watch the movie because next week's episode will be full of spoilers.
Yes.
As are all these episodes.
And for now, let's get it in some skim wing.
Let's get in there and go get some fire, get some ash.
Let's get both of those things whilst also understanding the way of water.
Yes.
Which we now have come to learn.
Yes.
Big educational episode.
Yeah.
Always the way of the water.
Whales are cool?
Fuck yeah, they are. Thank you for listening to We Need One More.
Be sure to follow us on socials like TikTok and Instagram at WNOM Podcast to stay up to date on upcoming episodes.
And feel free to join our Discord community where you can share your thoughts on the movies we're watching together. That's going to be at WNOM Podcast server with a link in the bio.
Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. That's the best way to support the show and to let us know that you need one more.
We'll see you next week. This podcast is produced by Pilot 9 and 9 Ball Creative.